Alright, in this little video I'm gonna show you the prerequisites that need to be fulfilled in order for you to print on a matrix printer using TOEs. First of all, the biggest thing is that it will only work on Windows. So if you're using Mac OS X, it will not work. You will not be able to print on a matrix printer using TOEs. You have to do it from a Windows machine. So that's the first part. The second part is your browser selection. Recently, several vendors building browsers have changed their security policies, no longer supporting an important application interface which is needed to connect to the matrix printers. And for you, that means that you should no longer be using Chrome or the new Microsoft browser Edge for trying to print your judges books, because they will not allow you to do so. Let me quickly show you why. I'm here in Chrome on a show, selecting judges books, and I'm going to try to print them on a matrix printer. TOEs is now generating the file to be sent to the printer, and once that file is ready, this one pops up so that it can start outputting to the printer. And on the top here you see an error message, and when I ask for more info, it will tell you that the plugin doesn't work on Chrome. So there's no way around this. It's a change Chrome recently implemented, and the same goes for Microsoft Edge. So that's the first big remark. Browsers which you could use is Internet Explorer and Firefox, possibly, but I have not tested that myself. Opera or Safari should also do the trick. In this case, I am now in a Firefox browser, and I am going to do the same thing. Well, no, I'm not going to repeat it. Basically, if you do it here, you will not get that same pop-up. Instead, if you do it, oh, I'm no longer logged on this browser. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm now logged in again. Let me try that again. So here is again generating the books, and then it'll try to send it to the printer. As you can see, I am not getting that same error message here. So the Firefox is properly allowing me to run Java plugin. So that's as much about the selection of your browser. The next one, the next prerequisite to look at is your printer settings. Your matrix printer in Windows should be set as a default printer. I currently don't have a matrix printer here, so it is not installed. Let me quickly add a printer. I will select a printer that was not listed, a local printer. Here we go. The port it is connected to, so you can select whatever port that one is. Next. And I will select an Epson LX300. Here we go. Next. I will use the driver that's already there. Printer name, and I will just call it my matrix printer. Here we go. Next. Unable to install. Oh, I already have a share. Here we go. Let's call it matrix 2 then. There we go. All right. I will not share this printer. Next. Finish. All right. So now here I have my matrix printer. What is good is that you can see it's already set as default printer. This is very important. If this is not the case, or your printer is already there and it's not the default printer, just right click it and make sure you set it as default printer. This is very important. Otherwise, TOEs will not be able to print for you. Next, as I mentioned earlier, Java is the software we use to actually print to the matrix printer. So you want to make sure that Java is installed in your computer. To make sure that it is installed and that you have the latest version, just go to java.com and you click this free download. It'll bring you to this page with a download. Agree to start free. Here we go. It's going to save the file. Alright, let it download. When the file is downloaded, we will execute it. Getting this pop-up message where you say, yes, I want to run this software, and here it is. You can just install it, wait for it to be installed. During the installation it looks something like this. Just let it complete and we'll continue when it's installed. Alright, during the installation you might get something like this, a warning of an out-of-date Java version. You can uninstall that, or you can do a remind later. It doesn't matter. Either way, as long as you're sure that you have the latest version, you're good to go. Okay, when the versions are uninstalled, we continue. And as you can see here, it was successfully installed. Alright, that is as much for Java. chances are that you already have Java installed, that it actually already is at the latest level, and then you can just skip all of these steps. But just go to java.com to make sure. Next, you will want to open your control panel. Again, this is a part of settings not related to TOES, but just prerequisites that we need from Windows in order for TOES to be able to print. In your control panel, you will see something called Java, which we just installed. Go ahead and open that, and something like this will pop up. Here we need to go to two different tabs to do our settings. The first one is in the General tab, in the Temporary Internet Files one. Just go ahead and open it. Make sure that this one is unchecked. If it is not, or if you're still having some issues with printing wrong pages, make sure to delete all the files like this. You just go ahead and delete them. Make sure that this is unchecked, and then OK. That's that for the temporary internet files. This way, when you select different pages, it'll reset every time, and it won't keep printing the same page over and over again. The second part that you have to do is you go into the security tab right here. You enable the Java in the browser. You set the settings to high, and here you set https, mind the s, //www.itika.com in this exception side list. So if it's not in here yet, you edit the list. A little pop-up like this one is going to show up, and you make sure that you add https www.itika.com. Once that is done and it's like this, you can go ahead and close your Java panel, and that is all for the Java settings. When all of that is done, you can go to your browser. It could be that you have to close your browser and open it again to get all the settings properly loaded. But once you've done that and you've logged on, you can go ahead, jump into the browser and try printing, and it shall work. I will do an additional video separately of explaining you some alternatives if you're still struggling with printing on matrix printers, showing you how you could use a laser printer instead, or what options you have of printing files that are actually generated by TOES using a software of your own choice. My recommendation personally is to shift towards printing on laser printers, as support for matrix printers is gradually dying in the modern